Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. This is going to be a bit of an odd video because it's more of an accountability video for me. I have a lot of little projects that I have started and not finished. And so I am going to just create a quick video going through each of the little projects. And then I'm hoping that this will hold me accountable. So this is not one of the projects. This was just something I was working on before I started recording. So let me just put this aside really quickly. There we go. All right, so this one actually is kind of finished. It's just a tiny little book, a little journal that I made with chipboard. So you can get it from the back of like art pads, drawing pads and things like that. And it's really nice and thick. So I just cut them. I'll take one piece like this and then measure it out so that the two sides for the front and back cover are the same. And then whatever's left in the middle is my spine. So I did that for this little book. And I covered it with these wall decals you can get from the dollar store. Some of you probably recognize this. And then there were just some blank sections, and so I just used some pretty cardstock to cover. This particular book is the kind that has a removable spine. I like to make my journals this way more than sewing the spine in. I do sew the spine in sometimes, but usually I was just looking to see if I had one that I think I do actually back here. Well, this one is sewn in, but it's a hidden spine, so you won't even really see that. So the spine is left alone, but I sewed the signatures into this piece of cloth and a piece of card, and then I glued the cloth. So anyways, that's a hidden spine. But I like to do these kind because when you're done with your signature, you can, if you really love your journal cover, then you can replace the signature. So these are just tiny little signature, or this is just one signature in here with just some little book pages, and a couple of envelopes. What I am going to do, the reason this isn't quite finished, is I am going to stitch the signature together and then put it back in here and tie it up. So that's one little project that is almost done. I could just finish that very quickly. Another thing I love to do is use old cardboard boxes as covers. So that's a cover. Here's another one that I used with chipboard, and I covered it with cardstock. So the whole entire front cover is the piece of cardstock, and then the inside is material on the spine, cardstock. So I messed this one up. I was going to create it like the one I was just showing you. So I was punching the holes to put the little eyelets in, and then I string elastic. That one I just showed you had ribbon, but usually I do elastic. I was trying to see if I had something close by that has that, but anyways, oh yeah, actually I do. My personal journal. So this is the elastic that I put through the eyelets. And then for my journal, I have these little notebooks that I can take in and out. All right, so anyways, I messed it up. As you can see, the holes just got all wonky. So what I did was I put another piece of cloth here, and then I'm trying to decide which piece of cardstock to use to cover this. So I have a few options. And then I think what I'll do, because this is super thick, I don't think I want to stitch the signatures in there. It's going to be a 3 signature journal. So I think I'll just do the elastic around the entire spine. So anyways, that is another project. Let's see. I have a couple of, so this one I don't know if I'm going to finish. This is an Amazon envelope, and I've seen people do journal covers with these envelopes, but I don't know. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but it's a little bubbly, and maybe the texture is okay. I'm just kind of thinking maybe I should have put cardstock on it first and then covered it. This is another kind of one of those wall decals, but more the larger sheet, maybe like contact paper. So I put brown cloth on the inside spine just to reinforce it, and then these two are going to be the inside covers. And this will probably be a single signature, kind of traveler's notebook style. I haven't decided if I'll stitch it into the spine or do some kind of wrap around. This one is a book page. So this is out of a book I purchased, an old book, and it's literally just the page. And then I just added some cardstock in to cover up some of the words and stuff, and then just some embellishment there. Then I'm going to use this paper for the inside. And then I'll just do a single, very long, narrow signature to go inside the book. I'm excited to finish this one. This one's really cute. All right, and then I recently purchased some washi tape, and it had the prettiest box. So I decided to turn it into a tiny little mini journal. So I've already got the cover folded and the corners rounded, and then I saved all of the pieces. So it's just absolutely gorgeous. And I'm gonna make a tiny little notebook for that. And I think in this one, instead of putting like a variety of book pages or pages like with book pages and things like that, I think I'm just going to do blank and lined paper in there, so it's like an actual little notebook. All right, now these two kind of strange, but I bake sourdough, and I bought this bag of flour, of bread flour, and I just absolutely loved the colors. Like every time I look at it, I just love it. So all I did for this cover is folded it in half. I stapled the end, the open end closed, glued these edges here to make a little tuck spot. I have a little square doily that I'm going to glue here. Oh shoot, there we go. It's gonna glue onto that. And then here is the signature. So it just has a bunch of, this one has a bunch of different kinds of pages, some music sheets, book pages. Yeah, just different things I have found. For this envelope, what I'm going to do is when I stitch it, this will be closed, obviously, so they're going to be little tuck spots. I think I'm going to, you know, why am I forgetting? Ink the edges before I do that. And then there's a little envelope there. So I think that's going to be a fun little journal. I'm not sure if I want to keep this one or put it in my Etsy shop, but it's very cute. And then I have this one, a little bit plain, but there's a little market by here where I live, and they have like a hot food bar. And so these are their hot food bags, and they're really nice, thick, sturdy bags. So I thought I would try making a journal with this. I'm not sure if I'm going to cover this or leave it. I do have a few pages that I've started collecting, but that's it. The project I'm going to work on today, though, is this. Oops. I purchased this at a thrift store for $2. Okay, maybe I'll take that off later. Yeah, I'll take it off later. All right, so this is the box that it came in, and then it has the book here. And I just love florals, especially Victorian kind of vintagey florals. And so I think what I'm going to do is gut the book because it's not a glued spine. See how it pulls away? Oh, maybe it is glued. I don't think it is. So I think it'll be easy to cut out. And then I'm going to make this my personal summer journal. It's not old enough to, in my opinion, to sell, to use to resell. But anyways, it's got beautiful, beautiful images, and it goes through the seasons. I kept looking at spring. So this is going to be my summer journal. So I'm going to use a lot of the summer pages. But yeah, there's just poetry and little book passages and musings and images. I mean, how it's just gorgeous. So, oh, sorry, that's a little risque, but it doesn't bother me. Hope it doesn't bother anyone else. Anyways, yeah. I mean, God, that's so gorgeous. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. This video, like I said, was just to go through all of my little projects that I've been putting off so that hopefully over the next couple of weeks I finish those. All right, well, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.